Hey everybody, Texas Joe here, Lance's Performance Shop, StarMoparts.com. As you can see, it's 11:14 at night here Friday, September 18th. Gonna do something a little bit different. This is something someone had requested, and part of it, and then the other half of this is I've never really seen anyone do updates for German tools, if you will. So we're going to try this, see how it goes. If you hate it, let me know in the comments section, and I can release a regularly scheduled KC tool haul. Otherwise, maybe periodically we'll do this. It just kind of depends when things are going to fall. I don't control the product releases, right? But without further ado, let's just jump right into this thing. Maybe we'll go into some random stuff towards the end. I'll try to have timestamps for you. First and foremost, I have already unboxed this thing. I think based on your feedback moving forward with other advent calendars, hint, that may be pertinent later in the video, we will probably showcase the box because they're super cool and interesting, at least to me. We will skip the part where I'm like a giddy little schoolgirl going through and, joyfully opening everything. We'll just showcase the box, then go straight into the tools. It'll cut the video length down significantly. You'll get to see what you care about. And if you really, really, really want to see me have fun opening stuff, make sure you leave a comment because I can go back to that. But I've already opened this. That said, I'm showcasing this again for the simple fact these are available currently, right? I know it's September. Christmas is a long ways off. If you want one of these, it would really suck if they sold out, whether it's for yourself, whether it's for, a child, niece, nephew, grandparent, uncle, father-in-law, mother-in-law, whatever. They're available now, and they do have a history of selling out. That would be very unfortunate for you if it's something that interests you. Personally, I thought the box was super cool, but what's going to be the key selling point to you is what's inside. Now, typically, these are a fantastic value. For example, if you were to come in and price all of this stuff out individually, you're going to spend significantly more. Even if there's some of the stuff you don't care about and wouldn't have to have, you still might come out ahead. But essentially, you're going to get the Cyclops mini ratchet. You're going to get quarter drive metric sockets right here. 5.5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13. Keep in mind this is quarter drive, so 13, that's where I would typically cut off. You're going to get some hex sockets. You're going to get some torque sockets. You're going to get a nice extension. The selling point here, aside from the ratchet and sockets, if you're just a Wera fan, if you're a collector, you get, for the first time, at least over here in America, I have seen some blue back in Europe, I guess, you get a stubby bit holding screwdriver with a cassette. I've kind of covered this in the video if you want more detail. Obviously with that, you get a complement of bits, Torx, Phillips, Posi, one slotted, and then of course kind of the throw-in for all advent calendars, the bottle opener. So on top of that, it comes in a very nice compact case. The cases seem weird if you're new to Wera. They you're like, oh, that's going to be a piece of trash. They're actually pretty robust. They do their job well. They're slim, they're lightweight. Again, check out the video if you want further questions there, right? Coming in next, and I do apologize in advance if I sound really bad. I was out last night yo-yoing weeds. If you don't know what a yo-yo is, think about a weed eater if it didn't have a gas motor, okay, and you do it all manually. And yeah, that was my Thursday night. So anyway, right here, the Wiha Big Deal. I haven't brought any of this stuff in just yet. I wanted to highlight it for you. Basically, you can come in and you can get a series of socket and ratchet sets complete with extensions, or you can get their extra heavy duty. Again, for Wiha, what extra heavy duty is going to mean is you've got their classic soft finish, you've got a steel striking cap, and you've got the hex bolster on virtually all of them, maybe one or two that don't, super tiny sizes. That's a pretty good savings right there, 99 versus 138. Again, on KC Tool, you can probably get these slightly lower than these prices. Or this is just shown because it's super convenient for me. But right here, you've got 3/8 drive, metric, and SAE for 109. Here you've got an 84-piece half-inch drive, metric and SAE. And then here you've got a 49-piece quarter, metric, and SAE. Now, the catch with these, they're a great deal if you've been wanting to either A, pick up a socket set for your home use, your shop use, to put in a vehicle, to put in a trunk, whatever, a backup set. These present themselves at a very good price point. The thing I feel obligated to tell you as someone that keeps up with this stuff, if we drop down here to new tools, and I haven't filtered through this yet, but Wiha has done some really cool stuff recently that involves an awful lot of their tools: screwdrivers, socket sets, pliers, for example. And I guess we're gonna have to get rid of all this real quick. So let's just type this in. All right. So just for example, we're gonna do this and go here. All right. So this is what you might want to weigh in before purchasing those sets. These, again, they're ratcheting wrenches I've had fantastic luck with. We just came here because it was one of the first things available. But they have started doing foam trays. Foam trays, if you have a toolbox that you're taking pride in or trying to organize or sort or maximize what space you have because you don't have enough, it is really hard to beat a foam tray. I don't care what you go with, from, plastic racks, aluminum, whatever you want to do, carve it out of wood. Foam just gives you, right here, this is 31 wrenches in a minimalistic, look at this tray size, 22 by 15 and a half, and then it's just 1.25 inches deep. That's pretty efficient use of your space, okay? And the catch is, if we come over here, they're doing this as well for their screwdriver sets. And then we didn't see it there. Let's try this. Because this is what you would need to know if you're about to pull the trigger on one of those big deals. The big deals are a great value, but look at this, okay? Those big deals don't come with the foam tray. The foam tray is sort of the new thing. I'm old school, so we're going to come in here. We're going to go big. We're going to go with SAE. For $119, you get this. And again, look how well this is laid out. I realize it's not custom. Maybe you do it different. Maybe you'd read, right to left, small to big, whatever. But everything is highlighted. Everything is labeled. And it's all minimalistic. If you hate socket rails, foam trays like this, again, look, 15.5 by 11. This is smaller than the one we just looked at for the wrench sets. These are brand new. I'm talking like straight off the press new. And then, of course, they're doing this as well for their pliers. Now, sockets and ratchets, these are going to be Taiwan. I know some people object to that. Keep in mind, virtually everything you're going to get of decent quality at your big box stores, at Harbor Freight, it's going to be Taiwan. Taiwan, they can make a decent ratchet. And I've seen some of these. I've been fairly impressed with them. The Heiko sockets, the old Heiko that Wiha used to sell, those are really nice too, at least in my opinion. But again, this is sort of going to be replacing, just the loose leaf. You can pick and, if you hate foam, if it was going to go in, socket rails, or you've already got organizers, go that route. But for everyone else, before you just jump in on the big deal and then see this like maybe a month or two later on sale, keep in mind it is available. It comes down to personal preference. And again, it is a great value what they're doing because this is SAE. That is SAE in metric. So if you want to go source your own foam tray, make a foam tray, what have you, keep all of that in mind. But I just wanted to highlight that for you. So coming in next, these are some tools that have recently released, and we're going to talk about those, right? So right here, this little guy is the Cobra XS, all right? This is the smallest Cobra they've got on the market. It is so small. Check that out. We don't even have the trademark red and blue 2-component grip. That will actually, for those of you that do carry this in your pocket, whether it's jeans or khakis or whatever, these will actually slide in and out better without the 2-component grip. That and probably just the form factor, the tiny size was the logic there. A lot of people, tool trucks, of course, carry some Knipex, sell some Knipex. They've been very, very hard to get. These have been out of stock at KC Tool quite a bit. They're currently available. $36.99 right there. So I think you can get the 5-inch and the 6-inch maybe a little bit cheaper. But again, this is brand new. And they are, as you can see, 4 stars, 17 reviews already. This hadn't been out long at all. Check out that grip. I'm real interested in that knurling. But we got 1 negative. It's probably pretty much 5 stars across the board with Knipex. And then you've got like 1 really negative, and then, everything else. So these are brand new. These are available. So if you've been having trouble, if you've got like a dealer or somebody locally that, like, I'm trying, Chris, I can't get them for you. Here they are, ready to order. So keep that in mind. released roughly around the same time was this little gem right here. Now, I may or may not have one of these. It's in a future tool haul that may or may not exist. And I may or may... Look at this. When you hear me talk about how these are like dust magnets, even the photo boy here got it. But I'll just go ahead and spoil this. This thing kind of looks, you know, kind of like wonky, gimmicky. The price is ridiculously low. And when this was first announced, Chris Cass, you may know him as like the Japanese tool dude, but he makes some YouTube videos. He's on Instagram. I was commenting on something I think Autobahn Dan had, and then Chris came in and he identified who he thinks, I want to say it's in Taiwan, that made this. But again, if I did happen to pick this up, I happened to be pretty impressed and happy with it. And that's why I want to step back and show you this. Now, I'm set up with quite a few bits, you know, like from our Wera Turbo. I've got some 89mm stuff. Pretty much the ideal size for this. Keep in mind, you can come in and use just a straight bit if you wanted to, but something like they've equipped here would be better. Let's just come in and go set 2 and set. I wonder what's the difference. I'm guessing with the sockets, you'd probably have metric and SAE, but they may have changed the bits. I haven't actually looked at this. Let's figure it out. So I was just avoiding this because I was like, no, I don't need that. So set 2 here, well, it's actually metric. So 7 through 13, you got adapter right there. Posi 1, 2, 3, you got 1 slotted. You got Phillips 0 through 3, which again, if you don't have bits of this length, which again are pretty much ideal, these sets become pretty convenient and typically great buys. Now, the thing I can tell you, I have one that I can think of off the top of my head, Felo Strongbox here, just like this. I absolutely love that case. It is very, very robust. Let's see now, again, since this is not metric, let's see what this one is. It doesn't have the... it doesn't have that. Let's see. Quarter drive socket, same thing. What would be the difference there? Huh. Not 100% sure, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but this basically shows it in action, 45, 90, both sides. It's pretty solid. This little thing right here, if you're a belt type of a person, that becomes a viable option for you as well. But again, a lot of the different bit lengths and everything. Now, that seems to have that laid out, so... who really knows? I don't, but I can tell you, $24, it's a pretty solid buy. I'll just leave it there. Now, coming in around this same time, maybe a week or two after, there was a post from Hazet, and they were saying something on Instagram about, you know, what do you think of our HP and all this, and spoiler alert, their half-inch drive HP, that's one of my favorite ratchets. I use the thing all the time. Again, if you watch like my Ram Revival or anything else, you know, the tool hauls, I just haul the tools in. We showcase them. Why did I buy them? Here's what they look like. First impressions. I'm not going to go torture test them. I'm not going to throw them into immediate use. Sometimes we do, but typically, you know, we've got so much, it would just be a ridiculous, never-ending video, even by my standards. So what I have done is I've come in and by uploading that stuff, you know, like the repair videos, the mechanic stuff, the whatever miscellaneous project, you actually get to see the tools and what they look like when they're used, and if I complain about them, if I like them. One of the coolest things about having like an excess of tools now is instead of just always using the same, you know, Craftsman ratchet, I can pick what I use, and I try to kind of vary it up, and then I tend, like when I'm not filming stuff, I tend to go back to my favorites, because again, I do actually use what I prefer. And I gotta say, that's a really good ratchet. So what I said on Hazet's Instagram is I said, all we need is a 3/8 HP, right? And if you come into Hazet's website, it's not the most easy thing to navigate, I'll just say that. But what would really shine is like their fan shop, which it's one of these places that you wouldn't think it is. Let's see if we can find it. Right here, it's under company. Like you would think it would be under products, right? But it's under company. But again, if you got some time to kill, or you can't sleep, whatever, you can have some fun on the internet, right? That's what it was made for. But we come in here, and I was looking at some products right here, right? And you can see all of these look really similar. There's like, ooh, flex heads, and ooh, quick release. You don't typically see that with Hazet. You come down here, this Times New Roman Inn looks really official. That's how they're indicating a new product here. And there was a couple weeks ago when I was doing this, looking around for the first time, I found like some really cool flyer on it. I'm not seeing that this time, but we're just going to run with this. And this is their hyper fine. This is their cream of the crop premium ratchet. They released the 1/2-inch drive first. It's the one that basically you can't break even if you like tried to. You probably, I mean, you could if you wanted to, but you know, under normal use, you're not gonna break the thing. And let's see if we can actually click that. Keep in mind, my internet sucks. Okay. This is actually pretty quick. I'm surprised it's loaded. So right here, it is going to be 8816 HP. This is the beautiful 3/8 drive. I hope you're not following my mouse, but looking in the big picture. Again, the only downside there, if you prefer quick release, this is not, but this would be probably the stoutest 3/8 drive ratchet. You know, the handle is super comfortable, at least on the 1/2-inch drive. We'll see what we think of this one. Let's see, it's got a 4-degree there, a lot more power, but you know the deal. I mean, I don't need to tell you all about this, right? And what I did is I said, we just need it in a 3/8, and they, you know, took a little while, and they replied back to me, and they said, stay tuned, and I think they put a date of like, you know, it's like they do in Europe, you know, like different than here. It's not September 18th, it's 18th of September. I want to say it was around the 1st or the 4th of September. And then, of course, everything that releases in Europe or Germany has to kind of, you know, sail across an ocean and get over here. Well, I talked to Colin, actually, about it, and I said, hey, you know, any idea when you're going to get the, you know, 3/8 HP from Hazet? He said, really soon. And that was a week or two ago, maybe 10 days, somewhere in that time frame. If we come over here, look at this. I checked this quite a bit, and this was not here the last time I looked, which would have been earlier today or yesterday, early this morning, so it probably got added today. But that sucker is in freaking stock, and it looks amazing. $98.33, that's going to be the price point right here. And then note, this is relatively new. It's going to be a reversible bit ratchet. That's a bit steep, I thought, especially when you consider you can get a 3/8 one here. There is a premium price point that comes with Hazet, but I thought I was going to be making this video like letting you know this would be coming soon. I didn't realize it was already here, but indeed it is. So great news if you want to rush in on that thing. Again, some of you, you know, you might wait for like tool of the day. That's kind of what I'm doing with like the mini Cobras. You know, it's not something I have to have. The 5-inch has sufficed great. I would love to pick up the 4-inch, but it's kind of like either going to be a throw-in item for free shipping, or it's on tool of the day and I'm saving $10. So also of note, these little holders right here, the ErgoStars, these are amazing. I made a video on them. I believe I was the first, and then some other people, you know, kind of followed suit, and now these are like listed at KC Tool. Wiha, a lot of their stuff, you know, like the screwdriver stands, you can only get them through wihatools.com, and I was kind of surprised to see all this stuff come over. But basically, if you had your Torx keys in here, you can turn them, and then they all fan out, and it just makes your life a whole lot easier if you use this style of a holder. So keep that in mind. Right here, just since we're here, this is an example of Wiha's foam plier trays. Again, a lot of people like, you know, like a color of foam there, and then there's like, oh look, I'm missing something. It's pretty easy to tell when you're missing something, at least in my opinion. Yeah, it would stand out a little bit better, but then you get into objectionable color schemes. I don't think you can really go wrong with gray. The white offsets beautifully for your fonts, and you take it from there, right? So, but again, here is the big deal, and then here is kind of, you know, your other options with them in the tray. So keep that in mind, play around with it if you want to. And what we want to do now, we've covered this, which again, amazingly, just happens to be in stock now, and is very tempting to order. We're going to come in back to Hazet's fan shop, okay? And I told you, I warned you earlier in the video, way back over here. I said, you know, this might come into play later. Well, check this out. We skipped it right here. Hazet's 2020. This is not last year. This is not a previous year. This is going to be 2020. This is what they're going to offer. You probably haven't seen this unless you're like me and you go and look for the stuff, right? It is their 2020 Advent Calendar. This is going to be what is included, all right? Now, somewhere down here, not here, I guess the next page over, we got some stuff. But I want to stop here. If you are a Hazet super fan, this place has some really cool stuff. Shirts, fans, all kinds of stuff. You know, like your rugs and everything. I've asked KC Tool numerous times, like, why don't y'all have more of this stuff? You know, like people would buy that. It would, you know, if you're getting yourself, you know, socket set or maybe the new HP Ratchet, you'd come in and you would get a sign or a t-shirt or, you know, a good hat or something. And they said that they have tried, and it's just like really hard to get any of that stuff to be sent over. Think back to like all of the cream of the crop. If I could get just one like fan item from Germany, it would be that Knipex t-shirt with the Raptors. You know, it's like Hawaiian print t-shirt style, but it's got the pliers. It's really dorky, but I would wear it absolutely 110%. So let's come in and take a closer look at this thing, if we will. I've already broken it down for you. There's a better look, but wait, there's more. We're going to expand upon it way down here. All right. So this is a bit holding screwdriver, which, you know, that instantly triggers my interest, right? I believe it's going to be ratcheting again. That's probably how that would translate. Bit of ratcheting. All right, maybe, who knows. It's got some L keys. It's got a case that looks to be about like the size you'd have with some Oakleys, maybe. It's got a long reach adapter extension. What I'm interested in, though, is the way the bits are held in. This isn't like, you know, the Wera one where it pops out the bottom. It's not like the Wiha, it's not like the Wera where, you know, it pops up. It's kind of, I mean, if we, maybe there's a picture down here. Yeah, there's not. Back to the top. You can kind of see it right there. It looks like it's 2, maybe 3 wide. I can't really tell. And it slides out, and this is like a bit rack, but it's combined inside of the driver. It's really, I mean, it's something like we haven't seen. It looks like it's going to be more of a flat profile. I don't know if it's going to feel better or worse in the hand, but it is interesting. So that's going to be the main selling point. You're going to get a host of L keys. If we come in and look at the bits, we've got the extension. Looks like it's 79 millimeter. We got a Phillips 1. We got a Phillips 2. Note, these are the cool ones that have the rings that make them easy to identify. We've got the posi. 1, 2. Let's see here. We got slotted, 2 slotted. Oh, look at that. They're not skimping on you slotted fans right there. So 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 4, and a 5, right? 1, 2, 3, yeah. So you're not going to get anything crazy big, but, you know, it's possibly nice to have those included with that. Who knows? You do get a bottle opener personally. You know, I realize people love the bottle openers. I would like to see something else, you know, like maybe a cheap little bit ratchet even, whatever. But for most people, that's probably what they want, and, you know, you're getting it, so there you go. The case, again, really cool. It does not look just like what you would expect with like sort of some high-end sunglasses or something. So spoiler alert, if you have no intention of using the case, now keep in mind, I haven't seen the size of this just yet, but I would think if it's the size I'm expecting, you could pull the foam out and you could probably put sunglasses in it, or safety glasses, money, whatever you want to do, a fun to buy your, you know, exorbitantly expensive bit ratchet. Who knows what you're going to do with it, but it is a neat deal nonetheless. Now, again, this is all readily available stuff. You can dig around on the internet and find it. Something that's kind of harder to find, and I've got to give credit to viewer Ben. He's over in the UK, and I think he was just shooting the breeze with one of his suppliers or something, and they sent him this. Aha! This is from Stahlwille. This is their 2020 Advent Calendar, right? It says, you can see here, it's always a bit special. We'll once again have a unique design. After all, special tools need special gift packaging. So there's our dimensions, blah, blah, blah. What you care about is this, and we get a better look at it down here. These cases from Stahlwille also really good. I do like them. They're quite small. They have the foam inlays that you can see here, just like what Wiha did. Kind of difficult to see, but that's going to outline what everything is. So like if that's a 24 millimeter socket, it's going to correspond with the lid. So if you ever lose something, you'll be like, yeah, okay, that was that one. Take it from there. Now the glaring weakness for anyone that is a fan of Stahlwille and likes their ratchets, which my current favorite 3/8 ratchet is the Stahlwille. The Nipros I use on the Challenger, but I've used the Stahlwille on everything. I'm weird like that. Again, having the ability to choose is just really fun. This would be one of their kind of old school designs. It would be a lower tooth count, I'm sure, but it is included, and you're getting a pretty good selection of sockets. I don't know if you bother to price out Stahlwille sockets. they're not cheap, especially if you're going standard, which these are metric. But again, with the Advent calendar, if it's anything you want or need, you typically, again, are going to save a pretty good chunk of change, and you get a case, and it was a fun experience. So let's just take a look at what we get in these sockets, and keep in mind, this is 3/8, right? So last year, if you recall, they did quarter drive. It was the really good ratchet, but this time around, it's 3/8, 24 pieces. You're going to get the pretty long extension there by the looks of it, 160 millimeters. So yeah, it's a pretty good length, I would say, probably about the same as the case. You get an adapter from 3/8 to quarter, so everything you got in last year's Advent calendar will actually work by way of 431 there. 442, I think, is a bit holder adapter. Don't hold me to that. Yes, it is, right here in the index, of course. So that's cool. That means, again, every bit that we got, right here, these are going to be bits that we can just plug in on the ratchet, right? But the bit holder adapter is going to take standard quarter drive bits. So if you got this and the Hazet, you can plug the Hazet bits in. If you have Stahlwilles from last year, you can utilize those bits. You get the idea. No need to ramble on. All right, so we're going to get, in terms of bits, let's just jump to those. We're going to get 1 and 2, looks like Phillips. And then right here, Torx, we're going to get 8, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. The 422, they say, is a fine-tooth ratchet. We may go pull that up. There's the dimensions on the case, 22.7 by 13.1 centimeters. And then more importantly, perhaps for you, is the range of 3/8 sockets. These items right here, the 45, whatever. 8, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And then we skip up to 22, and then we jump to 24. So real quick, let's come back, and I want to investigate this ratchet a little bit more so we'll kind of know what it is. There it is, 422. We'll jump over to our good friend Casey Tool. And, Stahlwille 422. Again, bear with me as the internet, tries to get going. So here it is. It alone would run 88. Again, keep in mind, I currently don't know the price of these because they're not available yet for purchase, at least here. But 60 tooth, so that's not terrible. It's going to be 6 degrees, right? 60x6, 360. And it's a little bit different. You can kind of pick around, maybe. For example, this right here. Ooh, it's a good one. I mean, this is a heavy used ratchet for me. And I love the quick release. I love the way they've designed it. It's an FOD ratchet type of a deal. It's a quick release. I mean, I can't say enough good things about this ratchet. But instead of getting that, which would be $113, we're getting the $80 ratchet. And it's a 60 tooth design. And I don't know. I've never used one of them, so that'll be exciting. There's a better look at it. That little dip in the handle, you don't see that on their other one. That's kind of more akin to like their wrenches, which again are fantastic. But the big selling point, of course, is we get the freaking sockets, 3/8 sockets. Now, right here, if you thought that Hazet HP bit ratchet was bad, here's one for $118. I don't know why these cost so much. This has nothing to do with the video. This is just the kind of random stuff I do on the internet. I don't know. You would think these would be, maybe half of this price, and then you wait for a sale or something. But I don't know. I've never used one, to be fair. Maybe they're amazing. But I mean, that's all it is. It's just a bit ratchet. Yeah, who knows? So anyway, that is about it. Now, like I said, if you hate this, let me know. If you want to see more of it, keep in mind, this is not something we would do all the time. I do think Knipex is supposed to have some new products coming out early October, which again, it'll probably push that back, a month or more, to get over here. But we'll at least get to learn about them, see what they are type of a thing. This is the big one, though, the Stahlwille Advent Calendar. I hadn't really seen anybody talk about it. So again, shout out to Ben for sending this information over. And it lets you know what to expect. Like if you're about to go out and get yourself a 3/8 socket set and you do metric only, you work on, beamers or something, wait, you can probably save a lot of money. And if you think, that ratchet, I'd rather have that one he showed me. Well, just buy it separately, and you're still going to save a ton of money. And then you've got, backup or one for a, glove box type of a deal. And the case, again, pretty sweet with these. I'm inclined to say that the 435 QR would probably fit there too. But, Stahlwille Advent Calendar, hadn't seen information on that. I believe both of these are on their way to America for sale. The Hazet one, pretty dadgum cool. I'm super interested in that bit holding screwdriver, as you probably guessed. Let's see here. Again, this thing, I had no idea it was going to be here, but it is, so that's super cool as well. Fantastic. If you haven't used one of these and you don't need a 3/8 ratchet, get their 1/2" HP. That thing is, I've never used a ratchet that I just felt that confident in. Like when I'm using the 1/2" drives, like on ball joints and stuff, where I can like go flying backwards when the socket slips. And a lot of times, I feel like I'm going to break the breaker bar, or, I'm like watching kind of the ratchet flex. This thing is stout, and we'll finally have that in 3/8 drive, so that's super cool as well. There it is. Again, there was a really neat flyer on the thing. Let's just kind of look at some of their pictures since we're here. Oh yeah, they did a pretty neat bicycle if you're into that sort of a thing. But there's a glamour shot. Look at that sucker. Super stout. But, again, it worked out beautifully that that's actually available now. This thing right here, again, these cases, they seem a little bit high, but if you were to come in and price out the bits and then think about, how am I going to carry this stuff? Where am I going to put it? They pretty much become a good value. But that thing is super nice. Pretty happy with it. If I have it, which, who knows, right? Let's see here. There's that guy. I think we've covered everything. So final points here. Do you prefer your sockets in a foam tray, or do you prefer them, we don't have it available anymore, but like just on, some sort of a holding rail type of a deal? Similarly, what else can we throw in here to make the video longer than it needs to be? The shop is a mess. Let's see here. I've got a pretty gnarly blister because I thought the Kong gloves that, I keep trying to figure out what to use them for, I thought they would be more than sufficient for yo-yoing. Left hand, sort of where the thumb connects to the palm, there's a really big blister there. It hurt pretty bad last night. It didn't really hurt as bad today. It has not popped, which I thought it was going to give earlier. Let's see here. I've got a 12-volt battery off of a lawnmower that was down to 1.62. That was fun. Let's see here. I got a case of Amsoil stuff in the other day, and it came. UPS showed up at like 8:30. It's getting dark. Like, it was dark when UPS came last night, and I didn't have that stuff, and I'd emailed them trying to figure out where the heck it was because I was waiting on the 2-stroke oil. And that's why I was yo-yoing. I just had lost all faith and given up on them. So then it's about the time it's getting too dark for me to see anymore. There he was. UPS was here with my oil. So all kinds of good stuff there. I got some paint in for the dash frame on the truck. You'll see that, in the Ram Revival, probably like 25-ish, somewhere in there. Still need to figure out either an engine hoist or the gantry crane thing. If you happen to still be here, this is a question some of you may know. If I were to take, let's say, 4-inch channel iron, butt it up flat side to flat side, stitch weld it, every couple, 6-10 inches, something like that. Basically, mirroring I-beam. Not flat, but pitched, but, a trolley will slide up and down it. Would that be stronger than I-beam? Or not as strong? Because this is still me just thinking about spanning the 13 feet at this point in time. Let me know your thoughts on that. I got some touch-up paint for an engine stand that was screwed up. I don't know, apparently between Georgia and Texas there's hell. And that's where that engine stand went. You'll see a video on it eventually. I finally did get the braces for the new one because it came with a new stand because they were, for some reason, would not ship the braces, which would be the cheapest part. It's a long story. You'll see it in upcoming videos. If you did hate this and you want to see the tool haul, I could possibly release it, either like Sunday or Monday type of a thing. But, from time to time, like if we get like a cluster of new products, I'll try to include them again. Currently on KC Tool Hauls, I've recorded through like 46. I think we're going to release 36, 7, or 8 or something that would have been today. So we're covered. We've got a lot of videos to go. So I'm taking the time. I'm making this one. But I'm going to quit rambling. I really need to shower. I got to be up early tomorrow. Hopefully I can get back in time to get a lot of time in on the shop because there's a ton of stuff I need to be doing. But let me know again if you would like to see more of this stuff, and we'll take it from there. So hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know, out of this stuff we showed, what are you the most excited about? Initial impressions: Wera versus Stahlwille versus Hazet. If you could only get one of them, which advent calendar would you get and why? We'll just leave it at that. So, as always, thanks so much for watching. Lone Star Mopars. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all three at Lone Star Mopars. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment. If you have not subscribed, I encourage you to do so. Again, hopefully I'll start sounding like normal, somewhat more normal, here shortly. And we'll leave it at that. So, as always, thanks for watching. Hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I will catch you for more action, hopefully from the shop. So stay tuned for that.